we pushed innovation so much with our chemists because we really wanted to change the whole formula type of self-tanning and do-it-yourself products. We pushed it too hard that the stability wasn't right, and we probably went too early.
Yep. Hello.
Hello, Alison. How are you?
Good. I am completely tanned up today. Can you see me?
You look out. So tell me what product it is.
It would only be Bondi Sands, wouldn't it? It's ultra dark.
Ultra dark, yes. It's a great glow. Great glow. I love it.
I made my partner do it last night, and he's been doing it for about 6 weeks now, and he's so good at doing it. And if he gets me one line or anything, I'm like, no, redo it. So it's been really good. But thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. Pleasure.
I want to hear about everything. You have such a huge story to tell, and to have you on my show, I'm just so excited.
Yeah, I think, look, I might take you a little bit back in terms of probably where I've got the idea, and probably like you as a founder of a company, where do you get the inspiration from, and why do you enjoy creating something and leading a business? And I go back to my childhood when my father, who was actually an AFL, VFL player, was a professional athlete, and one of the first professional athletes actually, when VFL went full-time professional. When he retired, he wanted a lifestyle where he could integrate business and family. So he pulled us down from Melbourne, the city life, down to a place called Murdoch, which is like an hour south of Melbourne. So it's not,
okay.
I think the school had 30 people in it, in the primary school. I don't think we had even tables and chairs at the time. Very country town. And I'm definitely not a country person. So I realised I was a city slicker pretty straight away. My dad went into, at the time, poultry. And he then had dairy farms and poultry farms, and we had all these animals. But it really taught me about him building a business with mum over time, and the hard work to go into that, but also building economies of scale in business. So not only having his farm, but multiple farms across Victoria, and what that looked like over a period of time. I was very interested in that. I'm very interested at a young age. How do you build something, but also create something and really replicate it?
Yeah. Were you one that always asked? Sorry, were you always one that asked a lot of questions?
I was.
Yes.
Yeah, I was so interested. I definitely wasn't an academic at school. Like I studied hard, but I was never an academic. I think I was more interested in the business side of things, and I didn't really get too engaged in a lot of subjects at school. But I think I more excelled when I went to university in terms of my academics, when I did my bachelor and MBA. But so from there, I really got engaged in terms of that business side, and in my 20s, and I sort of followed Jack Ma. I obviously founded Valababa, and what he said in your 20s, and obviously you really fast-tracked this, Alison, which is sensational. Entrepreneurs can start so young. But in your 20s, you really should have learn around really good people. Whether it's your family people in business, mentors, wherever it may be. And for me, I had definitely had family, definitely had a strong friendship network who were very entrepreneurial, but also my corporate background was instrumental in terms of who I was. And I worked in corporate Melbourne for a number of years, and it really taught me the fundamentals of business in terms of managing big teams, managing financials, managing marketing strategy, looking at consumer behavior, product development. So I was really engaged with that throughout my 20s. And I was in Port Melbourne, and then I met my business partner, Blair, and I actually went to his salon, and he had a salon called Body Bronze at the time, and it was tanning and beauty therapy.
Was it solariums? Yeah.
And we struck a friendship immediately, and Blair, we always loved entrepreneurial things about creating brands, and why do people like things and not like things. And Blair was really interested in why in self-tanning, one, he thought solariums were on the out, and he believed they're definitely going to be out in the industry in Australia. And also he believed from a salon quality point of view, no one really had a professional quality product and a do-it-yourself product. So at the time I was actually doing my master's, and I did a bit of a project around it in self-tanning and what it looked like. So we were amazed at the end that it was unbelievable. No one actually took the Australian positioning in self-tan
doing it.
or sun care. No one had. So I was really interested at the time. And so Blair and I thought, you know what, let's do this. Let's create a product and a brand. And we had no idea where to start, to be honest. We're just throwing around ideas. And my dad at the time said, Shaun, I actually know a contract filler chemist who could potentially help you out. I said, cool. Anyway, so one discussion led to another, and cut a long story short, we produced 3 products over 18 months because Blair still had his business. I was still working full time and in corporate, as you do when you start a business, you're still doing multiple things.
Yeah,
I'm sure cash flow is coming in. Yeah. So it took us a while to get those 3 products finished. There was 2 lotions and a spray, and we did tanning at the time.
I've got it.
And through that process, I think I always tell people when you go into a different industry, sometimes it's good to not know how difficult it could be. For us, I was so glad I didn't know how difficult FMCG is, and dealing with manufacturing, dealing with wholesaling and retailing. So glad, because then you go in fearful. Fearless.
Of course.
And you put everything into it. And we were very lucky. And I think Blair and I, what we did very well was really create a great people model. And when I say that, we put some good people around us initially, and we engaged a distributor in Australia. We're actually in Sydney, called Frostblend. I'll give them a call out. And they're a very good company, and they really aligned with us in terms of integrating our product strategy to our sales strategy to our retailers. And
did you? Sorry, I'm just cutting in again. Did you find it hard getting in touch with a retailer?
So this is what I say about relationships. This is the most important thing when you create a business and have an idea. The next step about that is, if it's a product or a service, how do you actually have that relationship to get it into either a retailer or sell it?
Sure.
And for us, we aligned ourselves with Frostblend, and I still remember multiple conversations I have with the owner, Yuri, and Craig, as a GM of sales, and they loved the brand straight away, but they really walked into Priceline with the credibility, with the understanding who they were. And with Blair and I's sort of passion about what we're doing, Priceline loved it straight away. And good on Priceline. We've obviously been a great partner with them for the last 7 years.
Wow.
And we've grown that to be the number 1 self-tanning brand within Australia. And really with them, really grew up very quickly. And launched with 3-4 products. And it wasn't a great start, actually, Alison. I can get into that if you'd like me to.
I love this part. This is the best part, though.
So Blair and I, we like to have a bit of celebration, and I think business is really important. When you have a win, you celebrate. So we actually went to LA, which we enjoyed, and we also believe that America is actually a destination for us over time as a market. So it was a bit of research, but also to celebrate in West Hollywood, which we both love. And at the time, we launched our brand into Priceline, and in the first couple of months, we started getting some emails. At the time, you actually are customer service. As you know, you're customer service. You're looking after social media, which we're no good at, and realised that pretty quickly. And also looking at manufacturing and retailing. And we probably shouldn't have gone away at the time, but we did. We just went on a week break because we worked so hard. And getting these customer service questions saying, is your product supposed to be green? Oh, no. And we're like, green? That's very interesting. I'm just hoping that might be just an off product. All of a sudden, we got about 200 emails, Alison, over the next 2 days. And we were like, this is a problem.
Yeah.
And it was good that people were buying it. That was a good thing. We thought it was going off the shelf because we're getting emails. But then all of a sudden, that's when the product was green. So what did happen? We pushed innovation so much with our chemists because we really wanted to change the whole formula type of self-tanning and do-it-yourself products. We pushed it too hard that the stability wasn't right, and we probably went too early.
Based. Yeah.
And at that time, I think about learning about not panicking, what you need to do to ensure you manage the business over that time. And we learned pretty quickly, and we hit it front on. We spoke to Priceline and told them what was occurring, and we need to get these products back. So it was about 30,000 units, I think, Alison, at the time.
On a recall.
Recall it. Yeah. And it was quite strange. So when we got the new products in, and that was obviously a 6-month process and very financially hurt us as well. And after that 6 months, when we sold the good batch was going through, people asking, what happened to the green? I really like the green.
You can't win.
Because the thing is, it wasn't actually green when you washed it off. It's just the bronzes initially that turned green. So anyway, we learnt pretty quickly to deal with the PR crisis, but we did quite well to get out of that.
The marketing side of things, hey? Wow. And then, so that was pretty early in the piece?
It was very early in the piece.
Yeah.
And it was quite, I think there was one time that throughout this process, there's been multiple times one time I really doubted myself.
Sure.
I doubted myself in terms of creating a brand, but going to industry, which I was passionate about, but probably didn't have the experience to really excel quick. And then you sort of, when you question yourself, you lose a bit of confidence. And I was very lucky at the time to have a good support system. And I had a couple of conversations with my father and a a couple of people, and they sort of worked through it and said, Shaun, it's not that bad. You got into Priceline. Yes, there's a bit of a hiccup. Financially, it's just more of a cash flow concern, not profitability. And really going through those metrics, and you think it through and you critically think through it, and you go, you know what, it's not too bad. So you push through, and I'm so glad we did, Alison, because our business went really strong very quickly.
Yeah, and that's an entrepreneur's mindset. You know, you're always doubting yourself, but that's why you keep growing and growing and growing, because you never think that you're doing good enough.
Exactly right.
Don't you agree?
Right. Absolutely. Spot on.
And then we're fast tracking it to, well, moving forward, I suppose. Now you're in, is it 7,000?
Yeah, so we're in Australia. We really took a bit of a risk going internationally pretty quickly. And
so how long into the business, was it going international?
2 years.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
Really, we went to Cosmoprof, which is a beauty show in America, in Las Vegas. And we really wanted to actually look at the American market first, which was probably silly. And we're glad it didn't happen in that way, because UK was probably a better fit for us. The second biggest market in the world in self-tanning. America is the biggest, and Australia was a third. So it was important for us. And I think the synergies between UK and Australia is a lot in terms of business, in terms of strategy. They really get Australia, they really get Bondi. So I'm glad we didn't go America first. And also the capital required for America at the time, we didn't realise how much extra money you want to launch that properly. So I was glad we actually found, a partner at Cosmoprof for UK. We launched in 2015 with Superdrug. Yes. And then we launched with Boots, and now we're across about 5,000 stores across the UK with a full team there as well, and a very exciting market for us.
And you have a head office now in the UK?
We do. We're based in London. We've got a head office in Melbourne, London, also Los Angeles. And the guys are all working remotely, globally at the moment. What we're doing now, Alison, Zoom, a lot of Zoom calls.
All the way from Melbourne.
Which is a little bit of a shame, because we just got a new office in London, but the guys are going there once a week at the moment. So it's sort of getting back to some sort of normality now in London. They did cop it pretty hardly for a few months, and what Victoria's sort of facing now in terms of restrictions. So it's good to see them recovering as a society, and hoping that everyone does the same over the next couple of months as well.
And then in America as well, that's probably the worst place hit. And how are you guys going over there?
It's been really strange. I think with America, 350 million people for a start. We're in Walgreens, which has got 7,500 stores, and we're very fortunate that our business is open and our retailers are open. It's essential. So everyone's open. I think what's happened in America, a couple of shifts. One is that people aren't going to the beauty salons, either closed, so they're not having their solarium or getting their spray tan for us. And therefore, they're trying these do-it-yourself products. And also a great benefit is that our resellers are open in Amazon and also Walgreens, and we're moving into further distribution in a few months for a number of multiple chains. But it's been a really strong growth year for us, which has been pretty amazing. There's been a big shift to e-commerce as well, and we've been investing quite heavily as a business over the last couple of years in that part of our business as well.
Yep. And then in relation to marketing, how does your marketing strategy go? Because obviously there's so many different locations. Do you have like a global marketing and then it's per country as well?
Correct, Alison. I think for us, you got to a level where you need to start decentralizing your business out. When I say decentralization, there's certain principles, whether it's marketing, product development, financials, or operations, you centralize. For us, our marketing principles as a group, and it's led by our CMO, Alex Peake, is 5 principles, and that's customer champions. Everything we do is around customer centricity. So our decisions in terms of insights, what the customer needs and wants. And ideally for us, we produce products in this life cycle of our business that are global. I think over time, you have to localize your product development as well, making sure you tailor your products to that market. And at this point in time in our business life cycle, we like to do really global products. With SVF, it's a little bit more difficult because they've got different compliance from Australia to America to the EU. So really about customer champion is really important. The next thing is innovation catalyst, and what does that mean for our group? And for us, a lot of that is centralized to product development, R&D. But more importantly, at a regional level, what are they driving in terms of innovation, in terms of marketing strategy, digital, PR, where it may be, to really connect with that market. So we've got a theme in our business, think global, but act local. And that's a big theme, wider theme for our group. And I think most multinational companies have that. You really got to have a global alignment, global strategy, but you got to localize it, because there's cultural barriers. We launched in Germany last year, completely different market. We're with Mueller, a great retailer, and they look at things differently. So education is extremely important for Germans. So YouTube is really important in terms of marketing strategy there, to really explain the products, to explain the steps. They love information. Where Australians in the UK like 10 seconds, aspirational, really quick. What is it? What's the price? And so it's really understanding that, and obviously you need good people to help you do that. And But I think that's really important to get to a stage where you can start localizing your strategy over time.
Wow, it's incredible. Can we hold it there and we're going to come back? We have so much more to talk about.
Are you wanting a dramatically whiter smile? If you're a coffee drinker or a lover of red wine, then Sparkling White Smile's Premium Ultra White treatment is for you. The Ultra White treatment consists of 2 sittings 1 week apart. This headlining treatment is tailored to leave your teeth up to 14 shades lighter post-treatment. For bookings and inquiries, send an email to info@sparklingwhitesmile.com.au. That's info@sparklingwhitesmile.com.au.
And we're back. So I just want to really dive into the marketing side of your business because it is everywhere. And I remember back a few years ago, you guys did it was the Jet. And then the year after, I completely copied you guys. But it works. They're the things that actually work. And every time I ever speak to like a mentor or anything, they'll be like, "You're the girl that did the Jet," and I'm like, "Yeah, I love that you know that." But these are the PR strategies that a lot of people don't actually do. Yeah. So I want to hear all about the PR, and I'm sure the majority of growing in the business was all about putting the money back in. That's exactly what happened in my business. People think that we're bringing in a lot of money, but it was all going out in marketing because every single bit of money that we came in was going out.
Key. Disruptive marketing for us is probably something we really are proud of. I think when we launched, social media was just starting, and Blair and I, as I mentioned, we knew the power of potential of it, but we weren't that good at it. So we got people in pretty quickly to manage that side of our business for us, and to really grow Instagram, Facebook, grow the community. And that's the most important thing. You're growing a community, and how you engage with that community is key. And that you do that through content, you do that through your communication, but ultimately building your brand equity. Really concentrating on those platforms. And as you're right, we have big launch events, which we really love and enjoy because we really get our influencers involved, also get customers involved as well, and our retailers. And there's a time of celebration. And we've had some great launches on a jet as well, Express and Coachella, Ibiza, across London. So it's amazing things we've done over the last few years. We'll continue to do that. It's a time to really celebrate product launches and new market launches. But your ability to connect with your audience is key, and to have the right content and to talk and engage with them is obviously pivotal in terms of your brand success. And I think Bondi has done very well. We invest heavily into it with our people. We're a strong digital first company. I think we've got about 35 people in digital across the world.
And is it all in-house? All in-house?
No, Melbourne, London and LA,
So you don't outsource digital to anyone?
No, not really. We did initially, and as when you grow a company, as you know, you want to outsource certain parts, but you don't want fixed costs of staffing. So for us over time, we outsourced initially, but now we insource, and we pretty much insource all the marketing now.
We do that
360, whether it's social media, paid social, influencer marketing, paid media, whatever it may be. So it's a fully in-house model.
Yeah, we're exactly the same. I think when you're starting up a business, you should go out and you push everything out to the agencies. But as you do grow it, bringing it in is the best type of marketing you can do.
Absolutely. Yeah. I do recommend to sort of get a health check with it though, and engage an agency once in a while. It's important because they've got great ideas and strategies as well. So overall, I think sometimes you really want to pull certain things in just to integrate your overall marketing strategy.
Yeah, and the whole Kylie Jenner collaboration, I'd love to hear about that.
Yes, so for us, for America, it was like, how do we get people's attention?
Sure.
And not just our consumer or customer, but also for us, our retailers that we sell into. And that's really important. Sometimes when you think about business, you think about the consumer pretty quickly, but sometimes you got to think about the middlemen. And for us, our middlemen are retailers, and they're our customers, really, in terms of who we sell to. And it's making sure that they understand who we are, and let's create a bit of noise. So we got our social team to connect with her team, and we were pretty thrilled that, one, she knew about us already, And 2, she really enjoyed tanning, and she was happy to do it. Obviously, for a hefty fee. For us, it was an investment we wanted to do, and she was actually fantastic to work with in terms of the post she did for us, and everyone took notice of it, and we still get content about it today, and you're talking about it 3 years later. So,
that's how you and I connected.
Exactly.
That's how we connected through her.
That's right. I did too.
Yeah, but it's crazy what it can do. Going into America, was it the best thing you ever did?
Absolutely. America is the biggest retail market in the world. It does $6 trillion a year. It's incredible. It's obviously, you got to get America right. And that's why I always tell people it's the most profitable market if you get it right. It can also maybe the most dangerous market if you get it wrong. So for us, I'm glad we waited that 5 to 6 years to really build up our IP as a business and as a brand, and really create the right infrastructure, whether it's sales, marketing, logistics, and those relationships to get right before we actually launch. Because when you launch in America, you want things to be good. You can't have too many mistakes. Because it's too big, and you'll pay for them over time.
Wow. And tell me, what is it like having a business partner?
So with Blair and I talk about business partners. So I think the most important thing is when you have a business partner, I recommend making sure you do have different skill sets. I think that's really important, and really complement each other. Blair and I. Blair's our creative director. I'm the managing director. It's a fantastic relationship. And one thing we're both very competitive, which is great. And we're also, our vision's exactly the same. Sometimes the way to get there might be a little bit different. And obviously I have those discussions as business partners and as a leadership team. We've got 7 people on our leadership team, and we really welcome conflict, because ultimately you don't want everyone to think the same as well. So you got to welcome those conversations.
That's the best part about it.
Blair and I, from day one, our vision's always been the same. So it's been great to work with him over time to deliver on that, and hopefully our customers are enjoying it as much as we are.
Yeah. Wow. So you are one incredible man, I'm telling you. I love listening to your story, and every time I hang out with you or talk to you on Instagram, you're so inspirational. So it's been so good to have you on the show. No. But what is some type of advice you can give to the audience? Because on my show, I have so many people wanting to start business, and you and I, we both started, and I started with absolutely nothing. I'm sure, you came from a beautiful family and you had the backing, but you definitely, no one just starts and turns it into a multi-million-dollar business overnight.
No. And you don't actually think that may happen. I think the most important thing initially is once you've got your concept, whether it's a product or a service, wherever it may be, the most important thing I think we talked about before is persistence. I think it's a really key behavioural trait. You got to persist. If you believe in it, then that's the most important thing. You keep going. Don't stop and get that right. The next thing I recommend, which sometimes people forget a little bit, is they're so caught up in their product. And I think sometimes the most important thing is to get a good group of people. Now, people will help you if you get the right group around you, whether it's a non-paid one, which is family or a mentor or a friend, or a paid one over time. You might not have the money to actually employ staff, a consultant or someone who can actually help your journey. Is really critical. And for us as a business now, the most crucial thing about Bondi is our people framework. And I spent a lot of time with my chief of people working on our organisational design, what to recruit, where's our talent going, succession planning, all that sort of stuff is key for our business. Because ultimately, if you're really going to become the brand of business you want, you need people around the world to do that for you. And really align to your vision. So I think even in the early stages, you got to have a sense of strong intuition, perspicacity, really understand people and get that right. And I think the most important thing is enjoy. You gotta enjoy it. And people say be passionate and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, you gotta be passionate, but you gotta enjoy it and celebrate it.
I couldn't agree more.
Some of the things you do, I think I might be a bit like you, Alison. I'm always thinking ahead. Sometimes I'm going to take back and go, Shaun, enjoy the moment. And I'm getting a lot better in that.
I'm not there yet.
I think I look back in my journey so far, and I probably wish I enjoyed a lot more moments and not thinking straight away, okay, what's the next thing you can do? But obviously that's a benefit as well. But you got to enjoy it.
You have to enjoy it.
That's the most important thing, isn't it?
And what's happening for the business in the future? Where is the business heading?
Look, obviously for us at the moment, it's a volatile world globally.
100%.
And we're actually going probably in opposite direction where most people are going. We're recruiting a lot of staff.
So are we, actually.
We're recruiting 25 staff at the moment around the world, which is pretty aggressive. And we identified this as a time for us to really grow even quicker. And we've got some amazing news. I can't share with Alison, unfortunately, over the next month of what we're launching into in the US, and some amazing relationships we're going to confirm up, and really building scale. There's a lot more products. We're launching 45 products, Alison, over the next 10 months. So
45.
A lot of products are coming to the market, and you'll be very excited what they are.
Yeah, Doer, I'll be your best customer.
Yeah, the product team led by Mads and her team have done a fantastic job to put us in a good position to give customers what they need and want in a number of categories, which is fantastic. So we've got a really intensive growth strategy, and we're trying to grow across the business in multiple avenues, and really excited by what we're trying to achieve over the next 12 months, the next 3 years. It's got a clear plan what we want to do.
Amazing. Oh, it's so good because, as I was saying to my team the other week as well, we have employed over 4 to 5 new people in marketing, and a lot of people are saying don't hire anyone because of all the situation that's going on, and this is the time to grow. It's the best time to grow.
Look, every industry is different, don't get me wrong, and some industries are really being impacted completely.
Of course.
But for us, in our industry, we believe it's the time to get some really strong talent in people around the world, and an exciting time for our business to grow and really concentrate on our strategy and focus on it. And I'm glad we're investing in it, because I think we made the right decision, and I think we've been in a really great position for the next few years, where we're not sure how long the recovery might take in terms of multiple industries. So anyway, that's our strategy.
It's amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming on. And
thank you.
You have to come back in 6 months to tell us about the 45 new products that are coming on.
Will do. All right, thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Let me take a photo.